November and December, there is no senior lunch, so please do not forget that for those 2 months. Don't show up because there's not going to be anybody here probably. And also be in prayer and planning on being to it if you can at the November 15th Veterans Outreach at the, what's it called again? I always forget. American Legion. I know what it is and where it is. I just always forget. There's so many different of those things. I can't remember what it's called. What time should they be there to help start setting up and getting things ready? It starts at 12, so. Food people 9 and 10. But the people that are going to just be there to help, probably 11. 11 if you're there just to help. 9 or 10 if you're helping with food. And don't forget our Thanksgiving feast is going to be November the 23rd, Sunday, immediately after service. And then also that night, did you check on the time? It said 5. I'm pretty sure it's 6, but we will know for sure next week. We'll put it that way. And that is at Porter, just a few miles from here on 40 for the fellowship Thanksgiving unity service with all the other churches in our fellowship. Let's open in a word of prayer. Dear God, thank you for this beautiful day that you've allowed us to have today, and everybody that's here tonight, and just help us all to learn something from your word that we can improve and better live our lives for you. Amen. Oh, and also the prayer, ladies' prayer fellowship is tomorrow at 7 p.m. too.
All right, good evening.
Voice
Good one, Mary. How firm a foundation, ye saints of the Lord, is laid for your faith in His excellent word. What more can He say to you? He hath said to you who for refuge to Jesus have fled. Fear not, I am with thee, oh, be not dismayed, for I am thy God, and will still give thee aid. I'll strengthen thee, help thee, and cause thee to stand, upheld by my righteous omnipotent hand. When through fiery trials thou's pathway shall lie, my grace all sufficient shall be thy supply. The flame shall not hurt thee, I only desire thy dross to consume and thy gold to refine. Faith of our fathers living still, in spite of dungeon, fire, and sword. Oh, how our hearts beat high with joy whene'er we hear that glorious word. Faith of our fathers, holy faith, we will be true to thee till death. Faith of our fathers, we will strive to win all nations unto thee, and through the truth that comes from God, mankind shall then be truly free. Faith of our fathers, holy faith, we will be true to thee till death. Faith of our fathers, we will love, both friend and foe, in all our strife, and preach thee true as love knows how, by kindly words and virtuous life. Faith of our fathers, holy faith, we will be true to thee till death. Pastor Jeff.
All right. So this morning, this afternoon. Oh, it was afternoon because I preached long. Okay, this afternoon I headed back down to my office to grab a few things, and as I got down to my office, someone had used my desk to deposit the remainder of their, what I'm assuming is Halloween candy. And I happen to know that it cannot live in my office. So we've brought it up here tonight to use for the children. So, sorry parents, this is going to be a heavier than normal sugar night. All right, Mo and Sam, why don't you guys pass those out? And I'll throw a piece of candy on your seat there to cover that. All right. Now, this morning we were in Ezra. Now, we have also on Sunday nights then been looking at a different set of events that happened roughly the same time period. All right? So, what's also interesting about this is that tonight is the last lesson in this series. I got to get to the right place. Esther, Nehemiah. Esther. Why? Okay. Wow. I don't know if I am sleepy or Isaiah, Jeremiah. Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs. Why am I? Wow. All right, I am in the wrong part of the Old Testament. Maybe I should maybe I put too much into this morning. Ezra, Nehemiah, I'm close, guys. I'm close. There it is. It's the book of Esther. I found it. Wow. You know, it's bad. You get up here and everything goes blank, and it's like, the book of Esther. I know it's in the Old Testament somewhere. The brain just shut down. All right, now we have been looking at the book of Esther. We have been following the life of Esther, and we are at the very end, which means this is our last night with this set of lessons. And next week, we will pick up on somebody new. And I'm not, Yes, we're going to do a review. For those who have not tried to interrupt me mid-sentence, yes, we are finishing Esther tonight. Next week we will start a whole new person, and tonight will be the review lesson for the book of Esther. So pull out your memories of everything we've covered, and let's see how far we get, but let's stop and pray before we do. Heavenly Father, God, I love you, and I thank you for your word. Lord, I ask for some clarity. I seem to be a little distracted. So, Lord, I ask for some clarity, and I ask for focus, and I ask for your word to speak into our hearts and accomplish something in us. Lord, we love you. We need your help. We ask this in your name. Amen. All right, now, the whole overall picture of the book of Esther is God's sovereignty, God directing the affairs of people. What city do the events of the book of Esther, in what city do these things happen? Sam? Susa, one of the capitals of what empire? What empire? Maisie? The Persian Empire. They had several capitals. They had winter capitals and summer capitals and this capital and that capital. So Susa was one of them, not the only one. All right, now, let's see. What notable character... I can't answer that. That's too broad. Okay. What notable character is not mentioned in the book of Esther that is mentioned in every other book of the Bible? Okay, Sophia. God. God is not mentioned by name. What we do see is God's hand leading and directing all of the events in the book. There's a guy by the name of King Ahasuerus. He is king over the Persian Empire. We already noticed that. That is, for reference, that's first seen in chapter 1, verse 3. He is over the Persian Empire, or sometimes referred to as the Medes and the Persians. Historically speaking, the Persians took it over from the Medes, and then kind of called it the Medo-Persian Empire, okay? Or the Achaemenid dynasty in the Medo-Persian Empire. You don't need the history. All right, let's keep moving. What was the name of the queen that Ahasuerus got rid of? Isaac. Vashti. I have no idea how these things fly. Not bad. Okay. All right. Vashti is the queen that gets removed. Now, what? Of course, okay. You don't need all the history, but I can't help it, okay? Listen, Vashti gets removed. Then it's not noted in the book of Esther, but there's actually a 3-year gap between Vashti gets removed and the new queen gets picked. What actually happened was the Persian Empire, Ahasuerus, tried to invade Greece and failed. And he comes back to Susa, licking his wounds, feeling kind of tail between his legs. And his guys are like, hey, we need to cheer him up. I think he needs a new wife. So, what was the process for finding him a new wife? Give me half a second. Misa, that's your name. Huh? No, what was the process? What did they have to do? What did they decide to do to find him a new wife? Huh? They took all the women. Well, you got a point, kiddo. They grabbed the lady. They rounded up a bunch of women, and they brought them all together, and all of the women had one night that they were going to spend with the king, and whichever one he thought was the best, that was going to be the new queen. Now, on a small point, something to see if you remember, they were given a certain amount of time to prepare for their date with the king. How long did it take these women to get ready for their date? David? Oh, you're out of luck. That's Haley. 12 months. 12 months, David. It takes a long time for a girl to get ready for a date, okay? 12 months they gave these ladies to get ready for this date with the king. Let's see. Did the women who were chosen for this process, did they have a choice? Well, you're right. Kayla, good job. Nice job. All right. Well, it's, nice and quick. All right. All right. No, they were not given a choice. And guys, we need to understand that Esther didn't volunteer for this job. God picked her and said, I'm going to use you. You're going to marry a king, and you don't have a choice in the matter. And when we think about that, we think, wow, that's pretty harsh. But God had a plan in it. What was Esther's Jewish name? What was her Jewish name? Mo? Hadassah, yes. Her Jewish name was Hadassah. Now, I think I am not doing a good job following my questions. All right, Jewish name Hadassah. What was... let's see how to ask this a different way. What was... okay. Hadassah was an orphan. Well, I couldn't come up with a good way to ask that question. Esther was an orphan, and therefore someone else other than her parents raised her. Who was raising Esther? Silas? Her cousin. Very good. All right. Does anybody know the name of this cousin? If that's Misa, that's Mimi. Yes, Mimi in the back. Mordecai. Good job. Those fly really strange. All right. But wow, they're tasty. Not sure how I would know that, but yeah, they're tasty. All right. So she is being raised by her cousin, Mordecai, who has looked after her, brought her up. Now, I think we've already answered the question. Did the king pick Esther? Yes, we've already had that discussion, I think. Now, after Esther becomes queen, her cousin Mordecai, presumably because he was working as kind of a low-level bureaucrat kind of thing, he was in an area and he heard something important. What is it that Mordecai heard that was important? Do you know, Samuel? Sorry, he heard about what? About his cousin? No, he didn't. That's a really good idea, though. That was a close guess. Well, it wasn't actually close. It was a good guess. Good. That's the word. Good. All right. Let's see. I'm counting candy wrappers here. Maisie. He heard about some people trying to kill the king. All right. Yes, he overhears a plot to kill the king. All right. Esther is queen. Mordecai is her cousin. He's working for the government. He overhears a plot to kill the king. Does Mordecai say something, or does he keep his mouth shut and let the king get murdered? Isaiah. He says something. He says something, and the king is saved. And after Mordecai says something, what, do you have a question, Zach? Isaac, have you ever known me to strictly stick to a script? So then you should have had your hand up to say he saved the king. All right. After Mordecai saves the king, who gets a promotion? Oh, Sophia. Haman. Haman, not Mordecai. All right. So, all right, Zach, I'm going back to my script. I'm gonna make sure I read the right question now. Okay, buddy. Okay. What is it that Mordecai is not willing to do for Haman? What is it that he's not willing to do? Kenny, I saw that hand. Go ahead. He's using the oldest trick in the book to put his arm around his wife. Get him, put my arm. Okay, Myron. He wouldn't bow down to the king, to Haman, the king's second in command. All right, so Mordecai says, I'm not bowing before anybody. Okay, Mordecai won't do this. Haman, well, he doesn't handle that well. He really doesn't like that. It was culture for this to happen, and it actually says the king had declared that they should bow before Haman, but Mordecai says, I'm not doing it. Mordecai is very upset about this and develops a plan to solve his problem. What is Mordecai's plan to solve the problem? No? Zach? That's why she didn't know it, because I used the wrong name. What is Haman's plan? This is what happens when I don't stand here and stare at the words.
That's why you're not reading by your script.
This is what happens when I don't read by the script. All right, what is Haman's first plan? All right, Silas? Nope, stop. Wrong answer, but you're about to give away a different answer. What was the first plan? I'm going to let your dad have it. Get rid of all the Jews. Kill all the Jews. That is Haman's first plan. All right. Oh, here's one. Reach back into your memory. What day does he pick? Yeah, what day does he pick to do this? What is the day he has chosen? All right, Mo, I'll let you try it. 13th, 12th month. There you go. 13th day of the 12th month. Very good. And yes, I did actually have that written down so that I don't mess up the numbers. All right. 13th day. Well, I wrote it down as December 13th. All right. It doesn't actually correspond with our December 13th, but you get the idea. All right. Now, when Mordecai finds out about this, he's obviously very concerned. What does Mordecai want Esther to do about the plot to kill the Jews? Misa? Talk to the king and ask the king for help. Hey, king, they're about to kill us all. What can we do to help? Okay. All right. Let's see. What? Now, answer carefully. Just answer the question I'm asking. What does the king have to do in order for Esther to talk to him? To be given. Miss Sue, I saw that hand. Raise his scepter out. Very good. She was either or fishing. I'm not sure. One of the two. But she had it there. Okay. Now, does the king hold out his scepter to Esther when she comes? Does she? Yes, she does. The king holds out the scepter, and Esther is given the opportunity to talk to the king. All right, now, she finally has her chance. She's gotten an audience with the king. She risks her life to talk to the king. And what does she ask the king for? Nick, come to dinner. Very good, yes. She asks the king to come to dinner. Who does she invite to dinner with her and the king? Oh, Samuel? Haman. Very good. I'm going to go gentle with that because, I don't want to hurt people. All right. Yes. She invites Haman and the king to dinner. Now, she does that a couple of different times. Now, remember, all of this is going on, and God's got all of this planned. All right? Now, when Haman can't... So in all of this, Haman has been invited to dinner with the king. He goes to dinner the one night, and as he comes out of dinner, he's feeling fantastic. And as he comes out of dinner, what does Haman see that ruins his whole night? I'll go Isaiah. He sees Mordecai do what? Huh? By the lake? By the gate. Okay, he sees Mordecai by the gate. What is it Mordecai's not doing? Bowing. You had already answered 3 questions. I don't know why I was being mean. All right, he sees Mordecai not bowing, and it ruins his whole day. So then Haman goes home. Somebody helps Haman come up with a new plan. Who helps Haman come up with a new plan? Fia. His officials and his wife. We have a definite Lady Macbeth scenario going on. Well, just kill him, it's okay. So, her theory is, I didn't even say, I was supposed to ask, what was the second plan? Silas? Hang him on a gallows, 50 cubits high, and he's going to go talk to the king about getting this done. So he goes early in the morning to ask the king What problem did the king have the night before Haman comes to ask him? David in the back corner. He couldn't sleep. So what does he decide to do since he can't sleep? How's he going to get himself to sleep? Zach? Have the history book read to him. Yes. I think I did this lesson at Howardsville, and I got some ugly looks from the history teachers. But anyhow, he says, you know what? I can't sleep. Get the Chronicles. Tell me what's been going on. He finds out about what Mordecai does, and he asks what we've done for Mordecai. Did they do anything for Mordecai after he saved the king? Did he? No, they didn't do anything for him. They didn't do anything for Mordecai, and the king is worried about this. When Haman shows up to ask the king to just put Mordecai on the gallows, what does Haman end up doing instead? All right, Sam.
Planning the best parade Mordecai has ever been in charge of.
Yes. He has to take Mordecai out and parade him around and put on the robes and let him ride the king's horse and say, this is what happens to the guy the king wants to honor. Okay? So, let's see. After the second feast, all of this is happening in just a couple of days. After the second feast, what does Esther accuse? Who? That's a who word. Who does Esther accuse of trying to kill the Jews? Haley. Huh? Haman. She says someone has developed a plot to kill all of my people, me included. At which point I think Haman started to get nervous. And the king says, who would possibly do this? And she's like, that guy right there. All right, now, what happens to Haman? By the time this is done, Miss Lori in the back. He's hung on his own gallows. Blue or yellow? Blue. There you go. My skills haven't improved. All right. He gets hung on his own gallows. When he gets hung on his own gallows, who gets his house? Who gets his house? Kayla, do you know? Oh, no. Bad counselors. Gonna have to go with Mr. Mike. Esther gets his house. All right? Esther gets his house. Wait, hey, Kayla. Who gets Haman's job? Try again. Mordecai! Very good. You were just answering the question before I asked it. That's what it was. You were just answering the question I hadn't asked yet. So, Mordecai gets Haman's job. Esther gets Haman's house. But you got a problem. There's still a decree that says on the 13th day of the 12th month, go find a Jew and kill him. What is Mordecai and Esther's solution to this problem? Mo?
They can fight back.
There you go. They make a decree. The king lets them sign it with his signet that says the Jews are encouraged to fight back. If you attack a Jew, the Jews can fight back, and if they win, they can take all of your stuff. So, they get all of that done. All of that has brought us to the end of chapter 9. Now, chapter 9, Esther chapter 9. Go there with me. All right. God has been working. He has protected his people through all of this. He puts Esther, he gets rid of Vashti. He brings Esther in. He makes sure Mordecai hears the complaint against the king. He's got all of this stuff in place. And what are they trying to do? Well, eventually, after everybody is safe, we get to Esther chapter 9, verse 20. Mordecai recorded these things and sent letters to all the Jews who were in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, both near and far, obliging them to keep the 14th day of the month Adar, and also the 15th day of the same year by year, as the days on which the Jews got relief from their enemies, and as the month that had been turned for them from sorrow into gladness, and from mourning into a holiday, that they should make them days of feasting and gladness, days for sending gifts of food to one another and gifts to the poor. One last verse, 23. So the Jews accepted what they had started to do and what Mordecai had written to them. Interesting. My first question does not work because in being selective, I didn't actually get the name of the feast in there. So, the name of the feast that they declared was called the Feast of Purim. I answered the question. What a nice little way to work that. Okay, so they declare the Feast of Purim. The Jews are supposed to celebrate this. Now, when is it that the Jews are supposed to celebrate this holiday? Eli. There you go, 14th, 15th day of the month Adar. I'm sorry, Lori, I tried to do the Frisbee thing, it didn't work. All right, so the 14th and 15th day. Now, the final big important question. Who planned everything so the Jews would be protected? Samuel? What? Jesus did. God did. All of this was done by God. God had the plan. God directed everything. None of this happened in Jerusalem. None of this happened with Christians, with people who believed in God. Not Jews. Well, I mean, the Jews were under attack, but all of these people. Mordecai was a Jew. Haman was not. Ahasuerus wasn't. The guys plotting against the king weren't. All of these non-Jews, what we would think of non-religious people. And God says, but my plan is going to be perfect, and I'm going to take care of my people. We are all living different lives. And all kinds of crazy things are going on in our lives. But God has a plan. A Jewish girl, an orphan girl, is taken against her will by the king to be his bride. But that puts her in the perfect place to influence the king to save her people. Jewish foster parents overhear a plot to kill the king. The Jewish foster parent, Mordecai, overhears the plot, and that ends him, putting him second in command of the Persian Empire. Esther and Mordecai were normal Jewish people that God used to do something amazing. We have a verse, our memory verse for next week. If you'll work on it, it's a big one. I might even give you 2 pieces for this one. Esther chapter 4, verse 14. Really the key and the push of this whole book. Esther chapter 4, verse 14. Mordecai is sending a message to Esther, and he says, "For if you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance will rise from the Jews, for the Jews, from another place. but you and your father's house will perish. And who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this." Mordecai saw and understood that God put Esther in just the right place at just the right time. And honestly, folks, we look at this and we read it, and even going through it a second time, it's easy for our minds to gloss over what this was like. We're like, she got to be queen. How awesome is that? Imagine if the government came tomorrow to your home and said, "Give me your teenage daughters. They're going to go live in the capital, and one of them is going to get picked against her will to be the queen." This was not something that was a, wow, look what a wonderful thing. This was painful, traumatic, and difficult for Mordecai and for Esther. And yet God used it to put the right people in the right place at the right time. Christians, I know that many of us are dealing with just craziness, okay? There's just a lot going on. I was actually talking to somebody about just everything going on, and there's that time when you say, we must be doing something right, because it really feels like Satan is really fighting against us right now. And he's trying to stop things from happening, but God has a plan. And when it feels like the enemies of God are this close to destroying God's people, God says, "No, I got a plan for that." And he has just the right people in place to do just the right things. Folks, God's still in control. He has a plan. He has something, and you know what? Maybe you're in this specific place. No, not maybe. You are in this specific place at this specific time to do something for God. God has a plan for it, even when we don't enjoy the plan. And that's what makes it hard. All right, any specific questions about the final lesson or the story of Esther? Any questions? Wow, no questions tonight. I guess we either overloaded you with information or got it all explained well. One of the two. All right, that being said, Myron, picked on you a couple times. Would you close in prayer tonight? One thing I did, Kenny asked me to look it up, and I'll admit I looked it up during songs. Unity service is at at Porter at 6 p.m. Mike Bender is going to be the speaker for the Unity service this year. So Mike will be preaching. It will be at Porter,